Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a general or collective tarot oracle reading for the beginning of the month of July. And Aquarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Aquarius, we all have a little bit of Aquarius in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Aquarius in? That could give you an idea of where this energy is most prominent for you. This is a general or collective reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck for the overall reading is the King of Cups, and the King of Cups is talking about a cup of love. The cups in tarot do represent love, and it could be romantic, it could be love of someone or something, or even love of something you love to do or something you love to be. And the King of Cups is sitting on his throne out in the middle of on this cement slab, out in the middle of all this rough water. Rough water in tarot represents volatile mixed emotion and also chaotic energy. But he's in the eye of the storm. He has learned to really handle his emotions in a very strong way. And because of this, he is the most emotionally available of all the kings. When he makes a love offer, it's usually it's usually a sincere offer. And he also would be most likely to be in a traditional marriage. And this sometimes can be saying, make sure you keep your emotions in check at this time. This is commonly coming up in all the readings for the beginning of July, because of the energy of the full moon was on the 29th. So that was, it's the first now. So we still have a couple more days where we're going to really be feeling this energy. But the full moon is in the sign of Capricorn energy. And Capricorn energy is about your career, your reputation, your public life, your public image. And the opposing energy on the horoscope wheel, the sign that's directly opposing the sign of Capricorn is Cancer. And Cancer is talking about the energy of your domestic life and your personal goals. So if there's any discrepancy between the two, that's going to be coming into the light right now. That might be the focus of it. And then that can get very emotional. And as well, on the exact same day, we had Mercury go retrograde. And so Mercury, when it goes retrograde, it tends to cause problems in communication and in technology, like communication with technology. For instance, my website went down on the 29th for it was just a few minutes, but they contacted me and had to look into it. It's things like that happening. And so this is not uncommon. So when you have the emotion that people a lot of the times feel on a full moon, as well, you have the misconnection or the miscommunication from the proper communication. People can sometimes really be taking your words out of context, or maybe you're taking other people's words out of context. So just be aware of that. You want to really contain your emotions as best you can. And then we have the Three of Wands here. Three of Wands is representing the energy of fire. And the element of fire and the wands are made of wood because wood fuels the fire. And this is talking about taking passionate action. This person is standing on the precipice of change, watching these ships sail by. The water looks golden because the sun is shining on it. But he's looking across to the distant horizon there. And he's thinking, I'd like to hop on one of them babies and go for an adventure. That's the energy that this person is in. And quite often, this can represent someone that is leaving being in a couple and becoming single. So that could be your energy, possibly. If not, it could be something about changing a career, or even sometimes wanting to move, like your actual physical home, wanting to move to a new location. And it might be even overseas. All right, we have for the first card in the energy for your internal forces. This is the underlying energy for the internal forces. You have control over the internal forces. The internal forces come from within. And, you can't control the external forces. You can't control whether people, what they say, what they do, whether they love you or they don't love you, but you can control your reaction or your response to it. It's always better to respond to energy rather than react. And so that would be through discipline of your emotions. And here we're going to start talking about discipline of mind. So this energy is... the Five of Swords is saying that you have some conflict coming towards you for sure. This conflict is, you've already taken down two people here. They've laid down their swords. You've won. This is cutthroat energy. Look at even the sky. The clouds in the sky look like they've been ripped into the sky. And this energy is like these two have already laid down their swords, but you're standing there ready for the third one. And you have two more. So in tarot, the swords represent the element of air. And this is your thoughts. And the swords represent your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. And also they're double-edged. So they represent your logical mind and also your intuition. So this whole situation is very cutthroat energy. The people coming towards you are willing to risk everything to take you down, and you are returning in fair. Now, when there's outer conflict like this, it can definitely cause inner conflict. So sometimes this can represent three different versions of you and the inner conflict within you. And we have the subconscious mind, which is developed by the time you're about 6 or 7. And this is, when you're a baby, you're like a sponge. You absorb your environment, and the people who provide your environment, their thoughts, their culture, the religion, even the food you eat, everything is based on that early environment. And a lot of people cannot remember much of what happens until they're like kindergarten age. So the subconscious mind is really formed by the thoughts of people around you. And, we can't really remember a lot of that. So we have to rely on their perception of who we were. When we get into a lot of conflict like this, we're triggered. That's the mind that first pops up. It's been with us the longest. It's heavily imprinted on us well into our adulthood. And so the subconscious mind is not always the most reliable one when you're in instances like this. Then we have the unconscious mind, which is your spiritual needs. And, a lot of people will agree, yes, I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a soul that is traveling in a human body as your vehicle to navigate Earth. And so the soul, if the soul's needs are not being met, the soul will definitely, the unconscious mind starts arguing with the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind, he has a handle on it. This is saying, you can remember, like I went to the store yesterday, I bought these 3 items, it cost me this much. I made supper, I ate, I went to bed. That you could relate the story and you have memory of it. So this is the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. And if you can get the 3 of them working together, then you're, through meditation and prayer, then you're much more likely to make really good, sound decisions, and also resolve some of this inner conflict within. Inner conflict is definitely quite often a result of outer conflict. And and the two, like if you have inner conflict, you attract outer conflict. If you have outer conflict, it causes inner conflict. So it's a vicious cycle that you want to break. And this is the energy that you're in right now. You definitely have some energy coming at you from the external forces, and you also have are feeling that on an internal level. Now, this is talking about the world. This is interesting because this is the second time I've had the world card come up in this series of readings, like right in the second card. The world card is number 21 in the major arcana, and it's talking about the Fool starts the cycle at the 0 point. When this card shows up, it means the cycle is now over. You've learned everything that you can. It's you've achieved what you can. It's time to move forward on a new cycle. So we're moving forward on a new cycle here as soon as this conflict is ended. That's basically the way I'm seeing it. The divine and the universe are collaborating to bring the truth to you. So this is talking about, this is your abundance here. So it's talking about, it's hard to be abundant in this space. So this is saying the energy is shifting. You're going to be starting a new cycle when the truth comes out. And so this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you, God. And this is in your early communication. So this is communication from when your subconscious mind was being formed, and like when you're in elementary school, high school, that type of time frame, basically. And this is talking about some sort of truth coming out about your childhood that is maybe causing some of this inner conflict, which might be causing some outer conflict, and then it just is putting you into a loop. This cycle is ending when the truth comes out. We have this energy here is in the 4th house, in the house of Cancer. Now remember, Cancer is opposing the energy of the Capricorn full moon. And that is like if you're, this is representing your home life, your emotional state right now. And if this is the closer your public image and your personal image are, your domestic, who you are when you're at home, when no one's looking, and the image of who you are in your business and public life, the closer those two are, the calmer the energy is, and the more authentic. Now, this is really good energy. This is the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is saying you're living a really good lifestyle. Despite all of this, you are living a good lifestyle by any appearances. This is talking about, the money overflowing, and we have an energy also of you have the partner you love, and they love you, and the children, and you love your children, and you have the pets maybe, and even time to stop and chat with the neighbors. So this is talking about an ultimate lifestyle in a perfectly imperfect world. And quite often this card can represent some sort of payment or something coming out from a legal disagreement or something. This is kind of if you ever watch any of the talent shows, this is someone pressed the golden buzzer for you, and you get to skip a bunch of steps and move forward to be even closer to winning this. And so this is talking about a really beautiful lifestyle. Now, Pentacles and Tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. And a big part of that is money, of course. 10 is the most pentacles that you can have in the tarot. And this energy is talking like a really beautiful lifestyle. The thing about the pentacles, it's not just talking about money, it's talking about lifestyle. This is the maximum amount. So this is like billionaire, trillionaire energy. But what is your lifestyle like? So this is talking about if you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, you're not going to be living the lifestyle that you want to be living, despite if you have all the money in the world. And so it's talking about that balance also between your career, your reputation, how you appear in public, and how even that is with this energy. And look at this, we have this energy here of the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is saying, it's talking, it is about lifestyle, but it's mostly right here talking about the 3 levels of making money. And so this is talking about the energy here is you have a strong foundation. This is about playing safe money. This is about you have to, you have your you have your down payment, but you need to pay the mortgage still. You can meet your bills, but you don't have a whole lot left for authentic desires or for your crowning glory. And you notice this individual has their back to the city. This quite often can represent you need to leave your comfort zone and maybe even the city where you were raised, like where you went to school. If you've been still there and you're with the same people, basically, it's really, really challenging to be a hero in your own hometown. People will see you how you were when you were young, when you were small. And this can also be representing that maybe in the past you have played small because you haven't, there's been opportunities that come by, but you don't feel safe in risking anything towards that because you know your money is too tight to do that. This is kind of like when you're in the energy of the job, the job, journey of the broke, because you're just going from paycheck to paycheck and meeting your financial obligations, but you're not actually living your authentic desires or your crowning glory. So this can talk about being sold short. It can be talk about selling yourself short and playing small. And so, you know, with this energy here, I would say that this is really, this is coming, I feel, from an energy of when you were younger. And when some truth comes out about this windfall comes in, and you're now no longer in this is your creativity, romance, and children. Like this is going to be like a generational wealth that is a legacy that you can pass down to your children and your children's children. And we have the Two of Cups here. This represents some sort of love coming in. If you don't have a partner now, this can talk about a soulmate coming in. And soulmate energy is talking when two people come together and they're both individually complete within each other, or within themselves, I mean. So the masculine energy and the feminine energy is very balanced, very connected to source energy, to God, to the Most High, and a strong connection. This basically represents HSN and the higher self network. So it's like being on the internet, only you don't log on and log off. You're automatically connected and you're on the HSN whether or not you're aware of it or not. So this is about these two people individually have very strong connection to source energy, high intuition, high vibrational, and they have a soul contract to come together at some point and empower each other to enjoy being on their destined journey. They don't need each other. They aren't completing each other. They enjoy each other's company, and they made an agreement that they would hook up at some point during this lifetime to enjoy each other's company and to empower each other on their journeys. So this is, if you're not looking for a soulmate energy to come in, this sometimes, this quite often is romantic, but it does not have to be. It could be anyone. So this could sometimes even represent, if it's a business or something that you're wanting to move forward, it can represent that type of energy. And, you know, like maybe a soulmate coming in that really empowers you in your career, seeing that we have the full moon about that. It could be both. And sometimes this can just represent you yourself being very connected to source energy. This card is representing Virgo energy. It's Mercury, the Hermes, is talking about, you know, health and a healthy lifestyle, basically. This is talking about strong communication as well. And remember, Mercury rules over Virgo, and Mercury is also going retrograde, or did, on the 29th. So this energy could be coming in whatever way that you perceive it to be so. Take what works for you. I forgot to mention that the King of Cups sometimes can represent your paternal bloodline. If you're married, it can also represent your father-in-law and his paternal bloodline. So your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather down the line. Sometimes it can also represent uncles, male cousins, and brothers from like this, stepbrothers, all that kind of energy from both sides of the family, and sometimes from your in-laws as well. So we have the underlying energy for the external forces. Let's see what we have here. We have, okay, we have conviction beyond a doubt. This is the Seven of Wands. And this is saying that now that you know what you know, the truth is coming in, that you have conviction beyond a doubt, that you are going to stand your ground and you are going to fight what is yours. You're not just going to let these people in this risk everything behavior come after you and just take from you what you've worked hard for, and so or what is due to come to you. And so this is protecting your heart, and these represent the actions of others coming towards you. You're on higher ground here, standing your ground, and we've got one boot on and one shoe on, which quite often can represent that you're in between two worlds here. And it can also represent an energy of someone else may have been walking in your shoes. This sometimes can represent identity theft, forgery, you know, that type of, where someone has stolen your information and been using it in some way, which could be maybe why you haven't, someone pretending to be you. And maybe that's why you haven't received this, or there's some truth about your childhood that you do not know. This can sometimes say that you've been walking in shoes that aren't really yours. Like you don't really, you know, you don't have all the facts about your childhood. Let's put it that way. So this is an external force. If it's an internal force, you'll know it's internal because you'll be asking the question like, what if they do this and I have to do that? Or what if I don't do this and then they do that? What am I going to do then? The woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. Whereas if it's an external force, you're going to be asking what the EF happened. It's coming from outside of you. You don't have the control over it. But what you can do is respond rather than react to the energy. And again, keep your shift together, because a lot of the readings right now are talking about control your temper, don't be impulsive at this time. It's not a good time for it at all. And yet this full moon is pretty emotional, like with the opposing sign. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And it's one of the most emotional signs. And then we have, you know, this back and forth energy here. So just be aware of that, you know, that's the way the energy is right now. So this is the underlying energy for the external forces. And now we have the King of Wands showing up. So the King of Wands is considered to be one of the sexiest of the kings. And there's 4 of them. And he is sitting on his throne. He has that element of fire. So this is talking about taking passionate action in life. He's very adventuresome. He's a visionary. He enjoys tackling new projects, new adventures, and learning new things. You know, he's constantly on the move that way. And he's someone he's considered to be, you know, this is someone that has a really good, friendly personality, optimistic, fun to be around, a good sense of humor. So they're highly desirable. And as I said, you know, it's the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's very, he can be very persuasive with his words as well. And then we have this energy here of, in the background here, the salamanders with their tails in a circle and the lion are representing protection from fire. And I noticed a while back this face on the back of his throne, and I can never unsee it now. And I feel it is significant a lot of the time, because generally what it's saying is, you know, we have 2 eyes here. We have the mustache and smoke coming out of the mouth and nose. And so this could just mean he's smoking hot, and that could be. And it can also mean where there's smoke, there's fire. And what I mean by that, when this is a lot of fire, a lot of passionate energy, and the fire signs have a tendency to mature a little bit later than the other signs when it comes to settling down, like committing to a family, a relationship like that. This energy, you know, his love of adventure and the new can really bleed into his romantic life. And so sometimes if you smell smoke, there could be fire. So just be aware of that. Like, you know, that the King of Wands, this is in your, because he's showing up in your commitment, partnerships, and marriage. Make sure he's mature enough to get married. That's the energy I'm picking up. And then we have this here is talking, and remember, all of the signs in the tarot are archetypes. So they're not gender specific. The kings could be women that are in their masculine energy as well as men in their masculine, and vice versa. So we have this energy here of the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups has really been showing up a lot in the readings in the last 2 weeks. And this is basically saying, this is generally, this is saying whatever this is here that needs to be resolved could end up being quite public. You might be someone that's on the stage, or the King of Wands energy could definitely be someone that's on the stage. This or could be someone that's working in public office, like it's public. So whatever comes out here, because I do feel there is some legal matter here, possibly it's going to be public, like it's going to be known. It might be in social media or on the news, that sort of thing. This person, or this is someone well known in the city, someone that has a position in sometimes in the, working for the public. Is mayors are coming to mind, that type of someone who, when they walk in the room, everybody goes, oh, there's what's his name, that type of energy. So this is talking about, in body language terms, this is talking about someone who is leaking energy from their masculine and feminine, causing a bit of a weakness in the base chakra energy, which is about survival and having like the strength to continue moving forward. And the upper body, though, is strong. Like it's, if this was higher, it wouldn't be so strong. But like this, he's making an infinity symbol, and it's lower down here. So he's not hiding his heart or anything like that, and it's almost like a genie energy. So this could be like that. This is definitely someone who's used to being successful. We don't know yet from this reading. This can represent 9 cups already being here on the back shelf behind him as he's on the stage here, or they could be right in the now, coming in now. Or this could be, he could be further back and these are forward and they haven't quite arrived to him yet. But this is saying that he's highly favored to win, but you need to, this is an energy you need to maintain focus. And so if you're someone here that someone is maybe coming in for you, and it's this person, this could be someone who's in the public image, and maybe his focus has been on passion instead of, because he's interested in you, and it's distracting him from what he needs to do to finish this project or whatever it is, or to be full on the stage. This is saying stay focused. Many a race is lost in the last lap, and this is in transition. So this is a transition coming in. We have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, I feel this energy is talking about the resolution of this energy. So all of this energy, I feel like that's coming towards you. I feel like, this is, once you start standing your ground, everything shifts. So the energy that's moving toward you is more of this soulmate energy. If you're doing that inner work. And so this is talking about putting your mind to rest and training your mind to be quiet so that you can meditate and pray to do so, and hang your mind up on the wall, your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind, and just focus on what's in your heart. What does your heart want? What are your authentic desires? Because if you can get these 3 working together, by training your mind to be quiet and just, okay, you're coming along with this, we're plugging into this is my authentic desires from my heart, and that's what we're moving forward with. And this on the window here, on the stained glass window, is the word Pax, P-A-X, representing peace of mind. So I feel like that's what you're working towards, and this is, once you have this higher knowing, I think you will have way less conflict coming towards you, because it's starting to be resolved. We have the 3 of Cups. Oh yes, these 3 always have to show up. when there's a full moon. They haven't been showing up as much as usual, but they have been showing up just for the full moon. This is talking about a celebration. It's not my favorite card. They are celebrating, but they're toasting, but they're not toasting each other. They're toasting something that has happened. And so nobody's looking at each other. There's no intimacy here at all. And quite often, if there's been a third-party engagement in your life, this can sometimes represent that energy. We don't have a whole lot of that here. So the conflict might be about business more, or that type of energy. But with this, sometimes this could be a hidden third-party energy that you're not aware of. And so just keeping that in mind, that's a possibility. You notice here, this is how you toast someone when you care about them, when you're intimate with them. This is, looking each other in the eyes, and you're toasting each other here. You're not toasting whatever that is. And in many cultures, if someone toasts with you and you don't look them in the eye, they'll freak out on you, because it's like there's a superstition in Europe, around all over Europe for sure, that if you don't look someone in the eye, that it causes 7 years bad luck in your love relationships and in your romantic relationships. And so not just for you, but for the other person. So they'll freak out on you. Look me in the eye. And so this can be talking about these people celebrating. Can be gossip, slander, and they're celebrating the fact that whatever this feels like, this energy here, this is sitting in your career and reputation. So it's affecting your career and reputation, and they're happy about that. And then we have some more information, communication coming in. Because we have it here, because the truth is coming in, but we don't really have any knights as of yet, or any pages. So now we finally have some official communication coming in. I feel this is coming from the King of Wands. The Page of Wands would work for the King of Wands. And the pages would start working at a very young age, around 7 to 14. That may sound like too young to you, but back in those days, the life expectancy was about half of what it is now. So they didn't enjoy childhood and adolescence as we know it. But this would be a real coup to work for the king and queen. He's got a feather in his cap. He's dressed in this finery. He's being educated. He's learning, the ropes of how the palace works. And he's responsible for running communication back and forth within the palace walls and being in that energy. So this is also talking about learning to love travel and exploring the wonders of the world, like the King of Wands, because he works for him. So this is would be a real coup for the family, and it would be a very prestigious and a way better job than probably most people would have at that time. If he is suitable and he does very well, by the time he's 21, if he can afford a horse, he might even be considered for knighthood. And then he would be delivering information far and wide. But here we have him, when the information comes in, this is going to be information coming in. In the old days, this would always be male in person, but because of the characters in tarot are archetypes, this energy could definitely be a female in her masculine energy. And the communication could be, this is about passion, so it might come in as, flowers or a gift delivered, or it could represent an invitation in the mail. This could be a phone call, a text message, an email. You might get messaged on social media, perhaps someone, you go to an event and you run into someone and woohoo, you're like, hey, you want to go on a date kind of energy. So this is talking about someone having passion and wanting to take passionate action towards you. Most likely that would be the King of Wands energy. And this could definitely be your soulmate, because we've been promised that when this truth comes out, the soulmate comes through. So that's the energy we have coming in, and that's in your blessings. And then we have, so this is about, I feel like this energy here, there definitely was something that a truth that you found out about your inner child. And because you decided that you were going to meditate and pray and take the time to really look after this energy, this is talking about, sometimes this can be talking about and the adult and child. It's your, with no baggage, it's talking about healing your inner child. And like you're in this, rough water here, and you want to go to smoother sailing here, and that could be represented here. Now, this could be something that happened down your paternal line, and you're finding out about it with this truth. And this is about taking the time to heal and to really figure out what do you really want, so that if this soulmate energy comes in, that you're going to, say, okay, yes, I'm brave enough. I'm going to take a chance on being vulnerable, and I'm going to move forward. And this could be like also some sort of information that comes in that tells you that a lot of the times the conflict that's within you is because of something that happened in your childhood, and you weren't told the truth about it, or something happened, and you need to look after it. Like you need to heal from it. And so this is about the conveyor takes you to the calmer waters to be with God, so you can meditate and pray. And then he has to push off with this long pole and dig deep into the mud. And that's what this is talking about. It takes a lot of courage to face your inner child and those fears from, your early, and generally that's held in the subconscious mind. So that is the energy, Aquarius. If you're leaving the reading here, I want to thank you for your time, your energy, and your likes and comments and shares and subscribes. I really appreciate them. Why am I doing that? I meant to do that with this with this deck instead. And okay, so I'm going to clarify now with my Oracle Tales from the Vector. This is an ink drawing from that series of 12 of the paintings. Our drawings are from the different signs in the zodiac. And it's actually a reproduction on canvas. I started this in 2007. In 2020, I completed 64 paintings. And the numbers on these cards represent how the paintings are listed in my gallery on my website. It's talesfromthevector.com. And this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. In the description box below, I will put the numbers as they appear here in the order they appear, so you know which paintings to look for if you want to check them out and see. Maybe they would give you a little more information as to what's going on here. We do have foolhardy energy. This is, you can anticipate a strong journey. I feel this is a solid cup of love coming in. Once you work through whatever this is, I feel that's because the foolhardy is saying you can anticipate the upcoming journey, this one that starts here, once you resolve this conflict. And then this is and I feel this conflict is coming from this energy here. It's sitting right on top of it. So we have the Aries energy here. And this is talking about doing things in a new way. This card is coming up a lot because there was a lot of planets moved into the sign of Aries in the last 6 months in particular. And one of those was Neptune. Neptune was in Pisces for 14 years. And it takes 14 years for it to move to the next sign. And so Pisces is actually the senior executive of the zodiac. This is the very last sign. It's like water. It's about idealism, how we approach life, the way we do things in life. And it's been in Pisces for 14 years. So it's kind of like we've learned to, set up systems, and we have like kind of systems that work. And we know if we do things this way and we do it in this order, that we tend to get a really good result. And so it saves us a bunch of time and energy because we've already figured out the kinks in it, and it's something that we know will work if we just apply it in this way. But the thing is that about a couple months ago, Neptune moved into the sign of Aries out of Pisces. So now Aries is the baby, the newborn infant, the very first sign of the zodiac from the senior executive. And it's a fire sign rather than a water sign. So everybody's like running around. If you've ever had a newborn infant in the house, you know, like when it was something so helpless and small, a newborn baby can rule the house. Everybody's running around. The baby's crying, the baby's crying. What can we do to please the baby? And going to all these measures to do so, especially with the first one. And the energy is, not quite sure what to do, like it's a new experience. And that's what a lot of people are experiencing now in the ways that they're doing different in business, etc. And just in life in general, we're not in Pisces now. We're in more aggressive Aries. Aries is the glyph is the ram, and how do babies come in? Head first, like a ram. Ram energy can be quite rammy. It wants to get its way, but if you don't know what it wants, it can be hard to be successful in doing that. So basically, this energy is saying there's a lot of energy in Aries right now on the planet. And you can't do things the same old way that you did when it comes to your approach to business and relationships, etc. You might have to tweak things a little bit so that, set up new systems. It's kind of like when they update your phone and you wake up in the morning and now your stupid phone doesn't work, like you finally figured it out and now you got to figure it out again. It's that type of irritating energy. But it could be helpful in some ways. So what you want to do is, like, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You want to tweak things a little bit, do little experiments to see whether or not, if you try this, if you try that, does that work? And sort of just adapt your old system to the new one, because this is going to be with us for another 14 years now. And we have the mother's worry, and I feel like I feel like a lot of people in the world are feeling this energy. It's not just Neptune. There was 6 planets that moved into Aries in the last year, and some are still there, and some have moved out now. But it's been a lot of new energy being thrown at us, and so we have the otherworldly and otherworldly desires. This is about giving yourself permission to go after your authentic desires when it comes to your abundance. So that's this energy here, where you plug into your heart. You don't do what other people think you should do, or what society tells you, oh, this is what you have to do to be authentically happy. Be your authentic self and stay on your destined path, and you will be much happier. Temperance is about holding in your temper, having good temperament, having devotion, being patient when you're on that journey. And that's about when the truth comes out, it's going to be much easier for you to be in that energy. We do have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is sitting on this windfall of money, windfall of lifestyle. And the Hierophant is talking about traditional structure, like the justice comes in from the spiritual realm, and then it comes down to the physical. So this is talking about the Hierophant is responsible for making sure that happens. And the Hierophant has his right hand in the form of a blessing. So if you're on the right side of the law, big blessings coming in. And this is also another blessing. Having passion in your life again, and the enthusiasm and youthfulness, like having that feeling no matter what age you are, and having a much better lifestyle and probably a lot more coin. And then we have the guiding star energy, which is talking, use your intuition about what was going on here, because this is what has been holding you back, whatever you don't know here. And then we have intention coming in. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's kind of talking about this energy of maybe thinking that the partner that you have was perfect for you or whatever, and they were actually in this energy. Sometimes it can talk about that. You could have good intentions to do this or that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work out. And especially if people think that they can go after otherworldly desires like destinies of other people, because they figure, hey, I deserve it better than I deserve that windfall more than them. And this is God's plan you're going against. It's not going to work out very well for you. Let's check what the underlying energy from the oracle is. We have superstar. So yeah, you're going to become a superstar after this. You're going to have harmony in your life. It's about standing up for who you are, and it's about protecting what's yours and being willing to fighting for your destined path, not fighting for things or like material things, but fighting for your ability to have choice, to follow your destined path. And then we have strength. And so that's the integrity to really dig deep here, to be able to heal any wounds or whatever, so that when the King of Wands comes along and he's your soulmate, that you're ready, that type of energy. And then we have a big transition happening in the transition. So this is basically saying, I feel like this is saying that this could be something very public or whatever, but if you're on the right side of the law, it's not going to be a big deal for you. It's going to be a big deal for the people that are in this energy coming at you. And then we have Aquarius energy. This has been coming in a lot. Now you're representing yourself here. So this is always a good sign about this going inward energy, really deciding what is it you authentically want. Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini just a couple months ago now. And this energy has not been with us since 1941 to 1949, when World War II was happening and the aftermath of that. This energy is talking, bottom line is that with Uranus in Gemini, the truth comes out. And it comes out in really weird ways, weird truths coming out in weird ways from things that people thought they got away with way back in World War II days. It's that type of energy. So it's very, and it feels like this could be down your maternal or your paternal bloodline. There's some sort of truth going to come out that is going to, you're going to be like, oh, wow. This kind of energy it's going to be public. It's going to be very public. That's what's coming up. Like, it'll be on the news. It'll be big news. It'll be like that type of energy. So whatever it is, that's what, and it's having an effect on you since you were a child, basically. And that maybe is what, when you heal that energy, it's able to come forth. Basically, Uranus is a pain in the butt for people who do illegal things, and they've been caught. That's the energy. So long as you're on the right side of the law, it's a blessing. If you're on the wrong side of the law, well, the shift's about to hit the fan. We have dissemination of information. So this is talking about, believing in your own press. Sometimes these people thought that they got away with whatever it was, and then Uranus came along, boom. And and I also feel that if anyone who is up to like this energy of coming after people for things that don't belong to them, in this cutthroat energy, if they were dancing around around the full moon and doing that type of bullshit, that they are going to find out. Elephant? What elephant? I don't see an elephant in the room. Well, everybody else does, and everybody will see what you've been up to. I feel like this is an energy, it's been coming up in all of the readings, where people have been getting away with bullshit for so long that they figure, and they've been successful at it, and they figure they're untouchable and they're above the law. And now a lot of people are finding out, and we can see that on the news every day, and like 10 times a day actually these days. And what I've noticed is it's really speeding up. And Uranus is going to be with us for the next 7.5 to 8 years till 2033. So you may as well get the popcorn out and, just accept, okay, this is the way the energy is going to be. And then we have Pisces energy. We already talked about that. I feel like the Pisces energy is definitely talking about moving, into Neptune, moving into Aries. And that having an open mind and being willing to look into things and do things in a different way is definitely going to empower you greatly. And we do have perception. So yeah, some people thought the grass was greener on the other side, and then they found out it's fake. I feel like this is coming back to this energy here where people actually feel that they have a right to someone else's destiny and they go after it, and they get away with it for a long time, and then more and more people get involved, and there's people involved. The more people involved, the more talk, there is, and eventually the truth comes out and creates harmony. Like it has to come back. The world, like the universe is going to expand and then it's going to contract. So it's God's plan coming together. And yeah, it's been interesting to watch. And with Uranus there for another 7.5 to 8 years, this is the way it's going to be. I'm all for it. I'm like, let's have the truth come out. It's kind of like weird how it is. It's weird energy. It can feel like really weird, but you're always better off if you know the truth, because then you can really make strong decisions based on the truth, right? And put you in a stronger position. So I do hope that this was beneficial to you, Aquarius. Thank you for your time and energy. Likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I really appreciate them all. And I'm honored when you do subscribe. I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now.